Hello folks, and welcome to another Don't Cry Wolf video blog. We have changed our publishing day from a Friday to a Tuesday. Now I should say that is part of some quite significant social media strategy that I am concocting in my genius mind. But actually, my local Chinese does a fantastic all-you-can-eat buffet, and that starts at 11 AM and I don't want to miss an hour of that on a Friday. As always, I'd love to see your feedback, so please do leave your comments in the comments section below. And if you do like this video, by all means, please do give this a thumbs up. Now today I want to talk about conversations and the power and the usefulness of conversation. We live in a world where statistics are being thrown down our gobs every single day, and big, bold numbers. Thousands of respondents, millions of consumers, hundreds upon hundreds of elderly people who've got a problem with Sainsbury's car park. I actually remember as an account executive early on in my career selling in PR surveys to journalists and constantly being battered back because the sample size wasn't big enough. I also remember in my early days as an account executive being told by a Daily Express journalist that I sounded like a wanker and should probably go and try and do something else. This video blog's for you, mate. Now, sample size is relative. Yes, if you are looking to speak to consumers, that magnificent catch-all term which means every single person on the planet, then probably a sample size of 36 people is not representative enough. It's not statistically relevant to be classified as meaningful data. But if you actually want to speak to consumers aged between 18 to 25 with a stronger split towards men who are working in the media industry and perhaps looking to invest in their first action camera, then actually a much smaller scale intimate conversation is a fantastic place to start. Now, yes, folks, you have guessed it. I am talking about the focus group, that wonderful part of the research world where it conjures up images of lines and lines of people all sat by relatively unidentifiable organic yogurt, tasting from one pot to another and then writing down which one made them feel more creative. But actually, a focus group is a magnificent thing, and it's something that we just don't deploy enough in our research strategies in the comms industry. Firstly, a focus group allows you to go with the flow. Now, unlike a static survey, where if the first few questions aren't answered correctly, it can go awry, it can seem relatively irrelevant both to the person who's responding and the data reviewer at the end of the exercise. A focus group has that opportunity to sort of morph and mould into something different as the focus group continues. So while you might start off with a very clear set of instructions and an idea of the sorts of questions you're looking to have answered, you might be taken down a path within a focus group that actually, whilst not part of the survey structure or the research design, proves to be an incredibly valuable bit of information, a nugget of gold that you can extract from that focus group. And that's because it is flexible enough to be built around a conversation between people rather than just a set of very structured questions. Secondly, a focus group offers you some fantastic insight into emotion. With a focus group, you're very quickly able to identify an area that the respondents feel passionate about. That can be so important when you're taking things through to the next step of your research journey. At what part of the conversation did people start to become animated, excited, engaged? You can't tell that from a written answer, but you can get that sense from someone when you're observing them have that conversation. And that moment of excitement or that moment of emotion might prove to be the absolute foundation of your entire campaign or comm strategy. That might be the hidden treasure that you're looking for. Finally, focus groups can be exceptionally targeted, and this is so powerful. You're not just speaking to some big, homogenous, sprawling mass of people from London or the UK. You are talking to your potential customers. You can have them in a room for an hour talking about the intricacies of your logo design. What you can quickly realise is that they couldn't give a rat's ass about what gradient you used in your next logo design. In fact, what would make something much more meaningful for them is 20% off of the market price. Now, I'm not saying focus groups alone are the be-all and end-all of research. They're absolutely not. But they are complementary to a much bigger research strategy. Using focus groups to inform bigger research, quantitative studies, is a very, very useful way of sharpening your research strategy. It also gives you a much greater sense and feel for your target audience as you move through your research phase. So I highly advise that in your next bit of research, in your next research strategy, that you incorporate focus groups, you incorporate that element of qualitative study into your strategy to make that much more robust. And don't always be seduced by these huge, sprawling, theatrical numbers that we love to hear about. Instead, your treasure might be hidden in a one-to-one conversation. So, what do you think? Are you utilising focus groups as part and parcel of your comms research? Do you think that they're a thing of the past now and actually we've got much bigger data to be working with and so should focus on that? I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, thank you very much for tuning in, and I will speak to you next time.